Guys, before we get going, we got to give a huge shout out to our Patreon subscribers. Thank you to Tony, Starla, Luke, Jacob, Jeff, Adam, Chuck, Justin, and Brian. And listen, if you want to help support this silly little show that Luke and I do, come throw a few dollars at a face. All right, you get ad-free episodes over there. You get the extra phone conversations that Luke and I have. All that great extra stuff. If you enjoy what Luke and I do, come help support the show. Head over to patreon.com/AITDpod for more info. Also, Discord. Come join the Discord, guys. We got some new people in there. Everybody's chatting it up. It's nonstop. It's a great community that we've built inside our Discord server. Find both of those links, Patreon and Discord, in the episode notes. Last but not least, last thing of chores here, if you will, the 200th episode meetup. The date has changed. It's officially going to be Saturday, March 28th. That's right, March 28th. If you're going to be in around the Harrisburg, Pennsylvania area, shoot us a DM and we'll tell you where we're at. We'll give you our address to where we're going to be. Come hang out with us. We got a few people flying in as far as we know, and why not have a few more, right? Let's make this bad boy a party. It's going to be a blast. But enough about that stuff. Guys, episode 183 about to get underway. We're going to be talking a little bit more about the Lytx cameras and a couple other things. So let's just get right into it, shall we? Episode 183. Ready, Luke?
I'm ready.
Let's do this. Here we go. We got to this one address. I said, this one goes around back. He went around back, boom, drove off, left them right at the stop.
That was after getting hit by a car.
Wait, you got hit by a car?
I ended up drinking 24 Bud Lights in about 48 minutes. Drunken nomad stumbles out in the road and he hit me going 30 miles an hour.
What's up, everybody, and thank you for joining us on another episode of All Into Delivery. This is episode 183. 183 here. Before we get going, before we dive into this, if you haven't yet, or if you know, I can't tell, if you're new here, you probably don't know them, but if you've been a long-time listener, you guys might remember Joe and Amy Rogan, who used to be a part of our team here at All Into Delivery, and they really helped us out immensely through a lot. And
very much, yeah.
And they have recently started up their very own podcast. And you can find it on Spotify. I believe it's also on the Apple Music Store, YouTube. So they got all of their stuff. All on there. And I know Luke has mostly listened to almost all the episodes, I think, so far.
I think all but one. I started kind of backwards. I went with the most recent one, unless they had posted something brand new. But yeah, it's very good. Their intro is incredible. It fits them so well. But just to give like a summary of it, because I feel like this is kind of an important thing. Well, I say kind of important. It's very important because it's a topic that everybody kind of deals with, rather it's with their parents or with an aunt or an uncle, or maybe just a friend that's older, somebody that cared for them, however you want to be, is dealing with aging loved ones. And it is, like I'm 41. You're what, 38? You'll be 30. Oh my God, you'll be 39 this year. Oh, dude, you're staring down the fucking barrel, dude. There it is. But fuck. It's like, and I know Joe and Amy about about 6 or 7 years older than me, and they, we're within in that group of, parents getting older and taking care of, and just I feel like they're both very good talkers. They've been on here. If you've listened to our episodes for a while, they've been guests a bunch of times, and they sat in on many episodes. So if you've been a long time listener, you've heard them on here a lot. But they just they flow well together, and it's a good but just the topics of what they're talking about is. I think it could hit home with a lot of people, and the stories they have. Plus, I think people reaching out. I told them a couple, and I'm going to share one. I'm going to share one for just with my grandmother. I was talking about my grandmother that had passed away. My dad's mom, my grandmother Leontine. She was always very, very independent and thrived on being independent, kind of to the point that it's fucking crazy when you think about it, because she was in her 80s driving to the Pittsburgh airport and going to going to the airport, driving to the airport, not only just going there by herself, driving to the airport, going to the airport, doing all the shit, getting on a plane by herself, and flying to fucking Arizona, and just to go to the wintertime. Like, dude,
incredible.
She was one to say it was extraordinary, because I always said she started to slip when she was like 99, but she had quit driving. She'd quit driving, I think, like in her early to mid 90s. I don't want to I could talk about, I could tell stories about her all day, but I won't get in too much I'll just always have said she quit driving herself. We didn't make her stop. She stopped on her own, and I never knew the story. Just something happened that she wasn't comfortable with. She was only driving around town. She wasn't driving to the airport anymore, at that point. It went less and less. But anyway, when she got to the point when she couldn't live, she couldn't live by herself anymore. She had to have somebody, stay with her. And there were people, we had some people that we had hired that stayed with her. And then, we would come down, I would come down on Sundays, and Ashley would come with me too. And she would always say it when it would just be the two of us. And for the first probably 3 weeks of doing this, it was every Sunday. She would when it would just be the two of us, she would pull me to the side and be like, "Honey, I don't want to have you here watching me. You should be living your, just kind of." She didn't like the fact that I was there to kind of take care of her, quote unquote. And so basically, after 3 straight weeks, I finally, I'd kind of would say, and I was like, I'm not really taking care of him. I'm just helping out. I was like, Ashley can help you. She was still able to make dinner with some assistance and stuff. She was still able to do some stuff around the house, but she just didn't, hated the fact that we were there, because she needed somebody there. So finally, after 3 or 4 weeks, I ended up saying, I was like, well, just let me just say it to you this way. What if the roles were reversed and it was me and I needed your help and I had to come over on Sundays? Where would you be at? And she didn't answer. She just grabbed my leg and shook it, and kind of knowing exactly where she would be at. She would have been there. But that's always a feel-good story I think about, and it's hard to not get choked up saying it. I'm teary-eyed telling it right now, but that's always one that'll ring out, and that's a positive one. But anyway, I just wanted to share a little moment of my own. Joe and Amy's, there's obviously a lot of it that is not glamorous and stuff is hard too, but they tell the good and the bad, and it's pretty new. So I'm not going to like say I know a lot about it, but it's a good one. The Rolling Rogans.
Yeah, Rolling Rogan's Art of Aging. You can go and find their show now. Rolling Rogan's Art of Aging. Go and check that out. Hell yeah, dude. This past week was sort of it was rough for me. Not even work-wise. But I mean, so I know you guys, if you've been listening, you know my cat has been an absolute staple of the show. And from, pissing and shitting on my pillow during episodes of recording and so much other stuff. I mean, I think we talked about her a lot on Moore's episode because Moore's a cat lady. And
yes.
And she was like, that fucking cat hates you, and so it's absolutely fine. But she had diabetes for 6-7 years. 6-7. I fucking hate myself. I just did that. So she had diabetes for like a long time, and she was 15 years old, and we had to put her down last week, and my wife, absolute mess. Not gonna lie, I got choked up too, despite all the jokes and me picking on this cat. But for 15 years, this cat's a part of your family, and so I just wanted to pay a little tribute to my cat Tiff, and cross the Rainbow Bridge, and no longer in pain. So,
dude, I gotta go a little deeper because I want to say when he said the pissing and shitting on his bed, that was Chelsea and Dusty's episode, their first one they were on, and I always laughed. I laughed so hard at just the amount of fuck you that was in this cat of like, all right, I'm pissed off. I'm shitting right beside the litter box. Like, yeah. Dude, just defiant asshole of a cat, dude. And I've just heard you for years now talk about. So don't feel, this was just the relationship. I'm not trying to make you feel bad about it, but yep. Dude, it's so funny because that cat lived with diabetes, like you said. The vet even said for a cat to live with diabetes 7 years is kind of fucking crazy. That cat was just a spiteful fucking cat that was just pissed off and not going to die. It was refusing to die. It got one last chuckle in at the very end. It's like, yeah, this little fucking, this is your last fucking. Yep. But yeah, dude, it does suck though, man. I know, and we complain about Gus a lot because he is a nuisance of just a spoiled asshole. Love him to death, but I will miss his annoying ass when he's gone. But it is tough, man. And I think everybody that's had an animal that's had to do it, it's not easy. So I feel for you, and I feel for Danielle. I know it was she was your first pet, man. That's like a staple of the relationship. Like you guys were dating. I mean, couldn't have been dating for very long. I mean, maybe like a year or two?
I think I was still living at home.
Yeah, man. It was, she was a big part of your guys' lives, but she was a staple of this podcast, man. So we had to had to pay tribute. Fly high, Tiff. Fly high.
That's it. That's it, man. So, hell yeah.
But I put this in the docs to say with layoff days because we're kind of recording. We do our schedules when we have to do times that are out of the norm, quote unquote, of the weekend. We are recording midweek, and I took a layoff day today, and not to make a habit of it because I don't just early on. I know the 9-5 list is about to start up next week, and I really hadn't slept that well the last few nights, and just was rough. And I kind of figured they would call because I think they called a few times last week, or at least once, and the volume dropped. But anyways, so I take the day off and I get some stuff done, play with Willow, and Willow kind of winds down, and I get a text, and I get a text from one of my businesses that I deliver to that has like a pickup that is not like a scheduled pickup. Just when I deliver there, they'll have shit going out, and I'll just grab it. But it's kind of like it's kind of there, but if you're not really familiar with the place and you go through the other door, you wouldn't see it, and that's probably what happened. So I get a message. This was after we had talked on the phone. When we were discussing on recording tonight, I get a message, and it's like, "Hey, are you working today?" The UPS guy came in here, dropped something off, didn't get to pick up, and I was like, "I'm off today." It must have been whoever was covering. I didn't get a response back. I was like, man,
Fuck.
I was like, these motherfuckers they must be pissed. But I realize, and I feel like the sticklers are going to be like, well, this is why, like the people that are company loyalists be like, well, this is why you pay for a scheduled pickup kind of thing. But and I feel like it happens with everybody. They get deliveries, so it's just kind of, I don't know if they get spoiled, but I'll say this real quick, because I said before we started recording, we're talking to Amy for a minute.
Yep.
I get that double whammy because there was a stock so since I'm off work, I was looking at stuff that just one stock that I own that is tied to Bitcoin. And it went up today, but it didn't, I was spoiled. I think like I'm actually like some type of wizard. Like if Bitcoin goes up, I'll just assume this stock that I own, that's a mining thing, will go right up with it. And it went up a little bit, and I was already looking at it like I was a little like, oh, this sucks. And I hadn't had my phone for like 2 hours because Will and I had just been running around. And then I get that text. I was like, God, man. I was like, I gotta get rid of this thing. It's just making me fucking realize I don't want to. I was like, part of it, I was like, yeah, I need to go back to work. I need to stop staring at NASDAQ stocks in my spare time, or just play with. But it was at least in between downtime, play with my kid. I wasn't staring at the stocks all day. I was being productive. But to the layoff days, don't take too many that it'll make your years go back into pension, because they can't add up. But when you want to take one here or there, I want to take two, but
Yeah.
I'll be back tomorrow.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. And something else we wanted to talk about too was the Lytx cameras, right? And
this is kind of
this
is the main part of the episode, really.
Yeah,
So.
if you listen to the last episode that we just had with Richard Hooker Jr., if you haven't, go back after this one and go and listen to that, because my goodness, so much information to take in. And he talked a little bit about the Lytx cameras. And I'm currently in talk with somebody who is actually doing some sort of investigating with the Lytx cameras. And against, everything that's wrong with them, to health defects for us as drivers and all this stuff. And it's pretty wild, to say the least. Because, there is an invisible infrared laser in those that are driver facing from the, as UPS calls them, sensor, the driver facing sensor, but it's really a camera. And so there's just so many health defects, everything from like dizziness to drowsy to itchy, watery eyes to migraine and headaches. that that have proven invisible infrared can cause these. It's proven. It's been studied.
Because it's like up around by your face, saying kind of is what.
Right. It's constantly staring at us in the eye. You know what I mean? God forbid we're distracted, or like anything like that. And so there's just so much about it, and like Richard Hooker said, the company's lying to us about it.
Yeah, I mean, he did not hesitate.
No.
One bit.
No. And I'm really hoping we can get this guy on next week for everybody. And so I've been in contact with him. He is interested in coming on. Just got to try and set that date up so that we can have him come on here and explain everything to you guys and get all the members more informed.
Well, so the videos that you sent me, the one I watched the one pertaining with the cameras. I didn't see the one with the U.S. and European standards, but the one with the cameras, I feel like that, so people were kind of aware of this now, and the more traction this gains, that's going to be like, dude, how can they not disable the fucking things? It's either that or face a lawsuit from every, you know what I mean? They're already, I feel like it's just bad. Like this, what the fuck is it with these things? Or to truly disable, I don't even know if you can say truly disable the fucking sensors in the front, because
the only people that can disable them is the Lytx company.
The company itself.
Yes.
So your tech guy came in there and did fucking what?
Fuck.
Exactly. The lies.
Oh my God! They just said, "Hey, just go over here and fucking strike a couple wires, unplug one, and plug it back in."
What's even more crazy, okay, is this thing is still recording. It's like all they have to do is message the Lytx people and say, "Hey, I want you to turn this one on." If they want to spy on a driver, that's all they have to do. Is message Lytx and say, "I want you to turn on the front-facing camera, the inward-facing camera."
And I mean, since it's something they can't use directly, would it just be something they would want to be looking at just to try to use, to get them later in an observing thing? Because I'm assuming, I don't know, man. That's just, we shouldn't, I mean, I feel like everybody kind of knew, but now that there's actual proof, it's like, man, yeah, that's
not looking so good for them.
No. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Gosh.
I'm really hoping we can get him on to really talk about this in full detail, because he knows. He knows it all.
Just speaking to it as drivers, I mean, I feel like the fact that empty parking like that, it has to be so annoying to just be in an empty parking lot where there's nothing there. You're not even on an intersection, but there might be a stop sign, and a motherfucker will say, "Please stop at stop sign."
Yeah.
And just shit that just I wish you could mute that motherfucker and then just be like, yeah, if you want something to say, bring me into the office and let's review the fucking footage. You know what I mean? Instead of hearing it chime over every little bullshit that just can't be and I feel like in our job, and you have to overcome this, but people have bad days and people get upset. Obviously, I mean, the term it's a different company, but the term "going postal" got fucking said for a reason. But it just to, I feel like that even with that, it's just one extra little fucking thing. Just if you're having a terrible day and something comes and just jab it at you, and it's I don't know, dude. we had said with like we had said with Richard, or Richard, had said with us with that, and we, we're talking about that was a strikeable offense and nothing got done. I don't think it would happen, but I would love if I would love to hear Sean O'Brien's rebuttal to that. I don't know if he would ever come on here. We would obviously welcome him to the platform. He's got his own platform of his own too, that he's, I know he's been, I haven't listened to any of his podcasts, but I've seen a shit ton of clips, but I would love to hear the rebuttal to that anyway, just to be like, what the fuck happened? Because something happened. And now all this shit, like the fact that there's like, because of the infrared thing, that there's actual health fucking, and that makes sense. Because think about it, if you're with your fucking diet, if you're scanning your fucking diet by your face, if you're even fucking 6 feet away scanning a fucking diet towards you for fucking 9-10 hours a day, every fucking day, that makes sense, dude. But there's, we can't, I don't want to, we're saying it, like I said earlier, we'll say it more as like drivers, because when we get this gentleman on, because I think he'll come on, I just feel like, I hope he does, because the explanation will be, it'll be just like, he said it without, dude, it was without hesitation. He said they are straight up lying to you all. He didn't, that wasn't a fucking doubt in his mind saying that. And then the just the stuff that we had gotten of the videos that were sent and the information that he, like, of the dude, of who you were talking. This is wild shit. This is crazy fucking shit. And it'll just be interesting, because I feel like what's going to suck is this probably isn't going to get resolved until 2028. I feel like they're not going to, you know what I mean? When it comes back to negotiating and shit.
Oh my God, imagine if they're waiting.
They might be. I don't know, man.
Just throw that out there, like as a campaign trail's happening. Just throw that out there. Be like, watch this. It is crazy, right? It is crazy that, O'Brien was talking about, this is a strikeable offense. But here we are.
It just, and this was the thing, and I didn't say this on the episode, but I'd said this in the past. I would say, because like, I didn't want to strike, but if we were going to have to strike. I would stand with it absolutely if we would need to. Excuse me, sorry. And when you like rally it like they did, to where everybody was fired up. Like I said, we were getting slaughtered on TikTok on these YouTube episodes, and it was a hot button fucking topic, man. And everybody was amped, because it was true, man. If anything, it was like, this was the one time that you really couldn't fucking because they made more money than they ever have and probably ever will in the history of a contract year, because of COVID, man. Just fucking drove. The stock price was the highest it's ever been. We truly believe, we're like, dude, this one of all of them, this one should go pretty well in our favor. And the raise wise, it did. People were mad it wasn't more, but that's the biggest one I've ever seen. And but just shit that you say, like the cameras and that PVD SSDs and all that shit, and it's direct violation, and nothing gets said, and nothing really gets said until the fucking buyout gets leaked, and then that's like, And like I said back then, dude, I felt like that made them look like assholes, dude, because we saw the cameras were still getting installed. All that stuff was still, we were like the air conditioned trucks. I've said, dude, it needs to be in the southern part of the climate. It can wait here. It gets hot here, but if they're going to get them out first, get them to the hottest fuck areas.
Of course.
Out there, cold murder, walking around 109 degrees. Get them out there.
God.
But anyways, like this shit that you just, nothing, it was... It's like it's just an empty it's an empty threat, man. And it's going to get treated like that next time if nothing gets. So yeah, it's just like, I don't know. I'm not trying to call them. I don't think they're soft by any means. I just feel like it's like a backdoor deal kind of thing. That's what it felt like. You know what I mean? It's just
absolutely.
It's not like I wouldn't fucking call out, being a fucking doormat. I just think it's more fucking, and it just makes you, yeah, man. And with the convention, the convention's still a lot of months out, but I can say at least with Richard Hooker Jr. above with anybody that we talked to, he absolutely. He reached once he got on Instagram, because he said he doesn't get on. He's not on social media very much, at least on his personal page, which we had reached out to him. But dude, he agreed, and dude, it was within like a week, and then he talked to us and did just everything that he had said. He's sitting down with rank and file members, just like, we're nobody. We have a podcast, yeah. We've built ourselves a platform, but we're just rank and file members, too, of a fucking very, very many million, over 1 million. You know what I mean? So it's like I just feel like no matter what, I hope if it rubs off, if anything, but just like, focus on the people. And I wish that we could get a rebuttal, but everything that Richard was saying, like I said, I don't want to keep condemning the one side, but everything that he said absolutely makes sense to me. And I would love to hear, there was an old saying, like, even the thinnest slice of fucking ham has two sides to it. But I don't understand, like, when he would say, like, well, what do you say, like, okay, what happened with the Lytx cameras? What happened with the fucking SSDs? Why did you not get pissed off until the buyout came out? And then that feel like what the guy was getting at, I feel like it made you look like an asshole because you get mad now because that's going to directly affect the Teamsters' pockets, because that's going to have drivers not buying, bringing in dues, and now it gets vocal. So yeah, I would love to fucking hear if there was something said. I would love to hear that. But yeah, man, we'll just keep track of that. And we got a lot of months out. It's not till June, so when it would get closer to June, we'll probably bring up more of that too. But with the Lytx cameras, I feel like if we can get this guy on, especially getting him on soon, while this is kind of a topic right now. But we absolutely have proof now that those things are recording inside. And the videos, if you want to get the links to it, low techie Tommy here wouldn't give you much luck, but Dave can probably put that in the description or something. But it's, that's big news, man. That's a fucking big one.
It is. So... But listen, we're going to keep this one short and sweet, so that's going to end it there for you guys. Episode 183 in the books. Listen, if you want to become a Patreon member, come help support the silly little show. Go to patreon.com/AITDpod for more info. Also, the Discord, like we said at the top, the Discord is hopping. Go check that out as well. Find both links in the episode notes. Guys, I'm Dave. My co-host Luke. Everybody, see you all next week.
Later, everybody.